The economic effects of mass migration. Migration has been a long-standing phenomenon that has shaped the social and economic fabric of nations throughout history. The movement of people across borders can be driven by a variety of factors, including economic opportunity, conflict, political instability, and environmental changes. While migration can have positive effects on both the migrant's home and host countries, mass migration, when large numbers of people move simultaneously, can create complex economic challenges and opportunities. Labor market dynamics, supply and demand for labor. Migrants often fill labor gaps in host countries, especially in industries where there is a shortage of workers. This includes sectors such as agriculture, construction, healthcare, and low-skilled service industries. By increasing the supply of labor, mass migration can lead to lower wages in some sectors, especially for low-skilled jobs, as the influx of workers can drive down the demand for domestic workers in those fields. However, in the long run, migrants may also contribute to increased demand for goods and services, stimulating job creation in other sectors. In some cases, migration can lead to a brain drain in the home country, where the most skilled workers leave, resulting in a loss of human capital. However, some migrants send remittances back to their families, which can help alleviate poverty and contribute to the economic development of the home country. Economic growth in host countries. Migrants can contribute positively to economic activity through their participation in the workforce, consumption of goods and services, and payment of taxes. They also help to address labor shortages in key industries, especially in aging populations, where the workforce is shrinking. For instance, many countries in Europe and North America rely on migrant labor to maintain their economic growth, as native-born populations are not growing as rapidly. In addition, migrants often bring diverse skills, knowledge, and entrepreneurial spirit, which can spur innovation and drive growth in the host country's economy. Many successful businesses and startups are founded by migrants, contributing to job creation and economic diversification. Pressure on public services and infrastructure. While migration can stimulate economic growth, it can also place strain on public services and infrastructure in host countries. The sudden influx of large numbers of people can overwhelm healthcare systems, schools, housing markets, and public transportation. In regions where the population is already facing economic challenges, the added demand for services may lead to resource shortages or diminished quality of services. Governments may need to invest in expanding infrastructure and public services to meet the needs of migrant populations. This could involve building new housing, increasing funding for healthcare facilities, and hiring additional staff for public services. The cost of such investments may initially burden taxpayers, but in the long term, the economic contributions of migrants can offset these costs. Fiscal impact and government budgets. Migrants can contribute positively to government revenues through taxes and social security payments. They may also take advantage of social welfare programs depending on the policies of the host country. The net fiscal impact depends on the migrants' employment status, their reliance on public services, and the extent to which they contribute to the economy. However, if migrants rely heavily on welfare programs or public services, they may place additional strain on public finances. The long-term fiscal impact is influenced by factors such as migrants' ability to integrate into labor market, their skill level, and the policies of the host country toward immigration. Impact on wage inequality. While migrants may fill labor gaps in low-skilled sectors, they can also create wage competition, especially among native workers with similar skill sets. In some cases, this can lead to lower wages for domestic workers in affected industries. However, migrants who possess higher levels of education and specialized skills may contribute to the reduction of wage inequality by raising the overall skill level of the workforce and driving innovation. Moreover, wage inequality can be exacerbated if migrants are primarily employed in lower-paying, precarious jobs with few benefits, creating a dual labor market where a large portion of the population faces economic insecurity. Conversely, migrants with higher skills or those starting their new businesses may reduce income inequality by creating new employment opportunities for others. Social integration and cultural contributions. Migrants often bring diverse cultural perspectives, traditions, and ideas, enriching the social fabric of host countries. These contributions can lead to a more vibrant and diverse economy, especially in urban areas, where multiculturalism is celebrated. Social integration, however, can be a complex process. Migrants may face challenges in adjusting to new cultural norms, language barriers, and discrimination. Successful integration can lead to improved social cohesion and economic opportunities, while failure to integrate may result in social tensions and economic marginalization. Governments and local communities play a key role in fostering an inclusive environment that supports the social and economic integration of migrants. Remittances and their impact on home countries. Remittances are a crucial source of income for many families in developing nations. These funds contribute to poverty reduction, improve access to education and healthcare, and stimulate local economies. In some countries, remittances account for a significant portion of national GDP. However, the reliance on remittances can also have negative impacts. If a country's economy becomes overly dependent on remittances, it may discourage domestic investment and development. Additionally, if migrants are unable to send money back due to economic downturns in the host country, home countries may experience economic setbacks. Long-term demographic changes in host countries and home countries. In host countries, migration can help offset the effects of an aging population by increasing the working age population. This can help to sustain economic growth and ensure that there are enough workers to support older generations. However, it can also create demographic shifts that require adjustments in social policies, such as pensions and healthcare systems. In home countries, migration can lead to a reduction in the working age population, which may exacerbate labor shortages and economic challenges. At the same time, remittances from migrants can support families and communities, helping to mitigate some of the negative effects of population decline. The impact on housing markets. Mass migration can place significant pressure on housing markets in host countries, especially in urban areas where demand for affordable housing is already high. Increased demand for housing can lead to rising property prices, rent inflation, and housing shortages. This can make it more difficult for both migrants and native residents to afford suitable accommodation. Governments may need to implement housing policies that address these issues, such as expanding affordable housing initiatives, regulating rents, or offering subsidies to low-income households. In the long term, a growing and diverse population can drive the development of new housing and infrastructure, stimulating economic activity in the real estate and construction sectors. Migration and innovation. Migrants are often drivers of innovation and entrepreneurship. Many migrants bring new ideas, skills, and entrepreneurial ambition to their host countries. Research has shown that immigrants are more likely to start businesses than native-born citizens, contributing to job creation, economic growth, and innovation. In particular, migrants can foster the development of industries that are new to host country, introducing novel products and services that meet the demands of both local and international markets. By encouraging innovation and entrepreneurship, migration can play a key role in the long-term economic prosperity of host countries. Mass migration has complex and multifaceted economic effects, both positive and negative, on host and home countries. While migration can contribute to economic growth, fill labor gaps, and drive innovation, it also poses challenges, especially in terms of public service provision, wage inequality, and social integration. Policymakers must balance the economic benefits of migration with the challenges it brings, ensuring that the potential of migration is harnessed to promote sustainable, inclusive growth for both migrants and host countries. Addressing these challenges requires comprehensive immigration policies, investment in infrastructure, and efforts to promote social cohesion and economic inclusion.